So I know you're all asking this question: will ChatGPT or AI replace therapists like myself? Hi, my name is Travis Goodman, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. And in this video today, I'm going to talk about some reasons as to why ChatGPT or AI will not replace therapists. This is a question that has been circulating the interwebs for quite some time, and I'm going to give my 2 cents on this question. In fact, I'm going to ask ChatGPT directly if it will replace therapists like myself. So let's just jump right into these reasons. ChatGPT said, as an AI model, I'm not a substitute for a real therapist. While I am trained to understand and respond to human language, I cannot offer the same level of empathy, understanding, and insight as a human therapist who has been trained and licensed to provide mental health services. And right away it goes into, if you're experiencing a mental health concern or need support, it's important that you seek support from a licensed professional, since a therapist can provide personalized and evidence-based treatment and support that is tailored to your individual needs and goals. So right there, when I ask it straight out with all those concerns that people are wanting, that will ChatGPT, will AI replace flesh and blood therapists? The answer, according to ChatGPT, is essentially no, it will not replace flesh and blood therapists like myself. As a caveat, I am not sure what to expect over the next 10, 20, 50, 100 years of an AI model, but to this point, there are reasons as to why an AI language model or ChatGPT cannot and will not replace human beings in the room with another human being. I wanted to ask it some more specific questions around why. So I asked ChatGPT 2 different times to see if it would give and generate different responses. And I'm going to have both of these on screen. I'm going to show you bits and pieces. The list actually came out quite similarly. And the first one that stood out to me was a lack of empathy. And that was saying that AI said that, well, AI, can respond to your messages and offer information and guidance. I am not capable of feeling empathy or building a relationship with you in the way a human therapist can. And even recognizes that the relationship is often a crucial part of the therapeutic process of providing a safe space for you to explore your thoughts and emotions. That is a major hallmark of therapy, that we as clinicians, we as therapists, sit with our clients in their pain, build a relationship where our clients feel this co-regulation, this safety with us in the room to share, to be vulnerable, to emote. And chat AI doesn't have that felt sense. It's more of like that text feeling. Have you ever had a serious conversation with a friend via text, and you kind of maybe lose that connection to some degree? Another reason why AI or ChatGPT will not replace therapists is it has a limited understanding of context. And it shares that as an AI language model, I can only respond to the words you type into the chat window. And this is a big part that it will miss. This is significant because context really is so important. If you take a phrase, it's like taking a line out of a book or a phrase out of a movie about a character, and you just take that one line or paragraph out without the rest of the context, without the rest of the story, you might be led down the wrong path. You might come to a place of assumption or judgment that is completely missing the point, because context is so important for therapists. As I'm hearing client's story, I'm listening for the nuance, for the detail. I'm listening for those pauses. I'm watching body language. I'm watching and listening for changes in tone of voice, facial expressions. All these things, as someone's telling their story, gives me insight, awareness, gives me perspective as to what might be really going on for the client. Do I need to ask for further clarification? Do I need to maybe, in a way, go down farther in that line of questioning? Because if someone says I'm doing fine and they bow their head, that's telling me that their words are saying one thing, but their body's communicating something quite differently. Now, ChatGPT or AI cannot detect that. They're just detecting language and words only. And to take that further, they even say, ChatGPT says, I cannot see your body language. I cannot hear the tone of your voice. I cannot pick up on those non-verbal cues that a human therapist will notice. And this can limit my ChatGPT's ability to fully understand your situation and provide appropriate support. See, this is already where we're seeing the limit of ChatGPT. Another important one is an inability to diagnose or treat a mental condition. So while it might understand criteria, you might be able to ask it and put in, hey, what's the criteria for depression, or what is the criteria for anxiety or PTSD or bipolar, all these diagnoses. It doesn't have a quote unquote license to diagnose or to treat. It can give you information, but it cannot treat or diagnose. That is down to our license. That is down to our credentialing within the state that we reside. Another important one is a lack of personalization. And what they say here on both of the times I asked ChatGPT was, although they can offer general information and resources, while it can give you some basic tools and guidance, it cannot provide personalized treatment in the way that we as human therapists can. Because we as therapists can take into account, going back to that context, we can take into account the particularities of a person's situation. We can listen for other things going on in their life. We can then start to make a treatment plan that's unique to each individual person, which we take it from more of a general perspective, a general treatment plan, to a unique, personalized one that can really help a client improve, get healthier, and heal. And so far in this video, what has stood out to you? What are some questions you have? Drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And another one, I had it expand. I said, expand for me what you mean by lack of emotional connection. It says, as a language model, I do not have the capacity to form an emotional connection with a person in the same way that a human therapist can. Therapists, we are trained to provide a safe and non-judgmental space for clients to explore their thoughts, feelings, experiences, or traumas, life context, situations they find themselves in. And upon that involves building trust with the therapist. That involves feeling safe enough to share, to have a sense of comfort in the presence of a therapist, which is so key for healing. Because as someone begins to feel that safety with a therapist, as they begin to feel comfortable, knowing they can rely, knowing they could come to a therapist and not be judged, that a therapist will listen, that they'll understand. Now, we will challenge, but that's different than negative judgment. That's different than criticizing. That's not the same thing. It's so critical to allow, and it gives space for a client to share those dark spaces, those pains, those hurts that they wouldn't share with anybody. And an AI model, or ChatGPT, as it has clearly said time and time again, cannot replicate that same emotional connection. Because here's the reality. We are wired for connection. We are hardwired, biologically wired to seek out safe attunement within relationships, to this thing that's called co-regulation, where it's mind to mind, heart to heart, body to body, or soul to soul. Well, we feel safe with another human being. They can actually calm our nervous system down when we're in the presence of a safe, secure individual who is calm, who is collected. That can actually take a dysregulated person and put them in a calm state due to just that physical presence. In fact, you see this in children. What a great example in kids. When you see a baby coming who's upset, or a toddler who's maybe angry, or they're sad, they're maybe distraught, and a good parent, a good human, picks them up, hugs them, and says, it's okay. It's all going to be okay. I'm here. And as you begin to soothe your child, the child begins to relax and their nervous system begins to regulate. It begins to soothe. It begins to flood it actually with positive hormones like oxytocin and dopamine and serotonin and others that have this bonding connection with another human being. And a chat model and AI cannot replicate that. So that is why we will not and cannot be replaced. Now, if you're interested in how ChatGPT or AI can help supplement therapy, you're going to want to watch this next video.